AEW commentator Tony Schiavone clarifies his reaction to the CM Punk Jack Perry AEW All-In backstage altercation footage airing last week on AEW Dynamite. We've got plenty of details on the severity and nature of Rhea Ripley's injury that caused her to vacate the WWE Women's World Championship last night on Monday Night Raw. Could Vince McMahon sell all of his TKO Group holding stock and found a brand new wrestling promotion? All of the details and if that is a possibility. When is Julia expected to arrive at the WWE Performance Center? We'll let you know about that. And did Cody Rhodes say farewell to Monday Night Raw last night on the Red Brand? Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about last week's AEW Dynamite footage that featured the CM Punk and Jack Perry backstage altercation from AEW All In, and certainly a reaction from someone on the show that got a lot of people talking during the broadcast, and that is AEW commentator Tony Schiavone. Now, Schiavone has clarified the reaction that Dynamite viewers saw to the CM Punk and Jack Perry footage last week. Now, footage from the AEW All-In altercation that took place between Punk and Perry was aired as part of the April 10 episode of Dynamite on TBS. Presented by Executive Vice Presidents The Young Bucks, the footage formed part of their storyline with FTR. Now, it was the reaction from Tony Schiavone that caught fans' attention prior to the segment airing and after it as well, though being widely shared on social media as a screenshot and also as a video. Now, speaking on the What Happened When podcast, Schiavone clarified his reaction saying, quote, "My facial reaction to what happened was trying to put more heat on the Bucks for being assholes. I did not have any reaction to the footage we'd seen because I don't give a damn. So what? So effing what? So I was not upset at the promotion. I was not upset at Tony Khan. I was not pissed off about what we had shown. I was trying to be fully in the moment of the angle, which is the Bucks bitching about FTR, not wanting to shake their hands and getting effed around. I'm sincere when I say I don't care. It has no impact on my life." Now, with some on social media comparing Schiavone's reaction to a similar expression he gave in WCW, he went on to say, quotes, "Some people are saying, oh, the footage you were showing is like the finger poke of doom moment for AEW. Well, you know what? That's what you want it to be because you want to see us fail. And there is no way because I was in both companies. There is absolutely no way you can compare us to WCW. You can't. You may want to. You may think you're right. You're wrong. You cannot compare us to WCW. I was there for both. You were not." Now, Schiavone had previously commented on CM Punk's interview with Ariel Helwani, in which the WWE star opened up about his time in AEW, once again saying that he really didn't care and he wasn't going to talk about it. So what do you make of Schiavone's reaction on Dynamite last week, and what do you make of what he said on his podcast this week? Do you agree that he really doesn't care? Do you think he's overcompensating? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments section below. Now, Rhea Ripley, we've got a ton of extra details now on Rhea Ripley and the injury that caused her to vacate the WWE Women's World Championship. Now, last night's Raw kicked off with Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley coming to the ring, where she vacated the title due to suffering an injury during last week's brawl with Liv Morgan on Monday Night Raw. In an update from PW Insider, multiple sources have noted that the injury occurred when Rhea was sent into a wall by Liv Morgan, injuring the AC joint where her collarbone and shoulder connect. Now, Rhea's recovery time has not been confirmed internally, with it being dependent on whether or not she requires surgery as well as physical therapy. While many speculated that the chair shot from Liv to begin the brawl was what caused the injury, that is not the case, and it was simply a freak injury. Certainly that is what is being described as by PW Insider anyway as well. It's just simply a freak injury. Now, we've got some more details when it comes to this injury from the Wrestling Observer Radio, courtesy of Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer. This is what Alvarez had to say, quote, "She suffered an AC joint sprain in the brawl with Liv Morgan last week on Raw," Alvarez said. "She was thrown into the wall and boom, there goes the shoulder. An injury like that, it will take probably 4 to 6 weeks to gain mobility and then usually about 3 months to be back in action." Alvarez and co-host Dave Meltzer interpreted last night's segment also as a double turn, with Morgan becoming a heel while Ripley was turned into a babyface due to the circumstances. Now, it's not clear if this was the definitive intent of the segment, but it's undeniable that the crowd was firmly behind Ripley last night, and keeping her as a villain upon her return would likely be a difficult task. As the conversation continued, both hosts discussed the possible reasons behind stripping Ripley of the championship rather than having her hang on to the title through her injury, as the company has done with Roman Reigns in the past, as well as Seth Rollins as recently as earlier this year on the road to WrestleMania. Both agreed that Ripley didn't have any big-time opponents immediately lined up, so her taking time off the table during her injury and heating up Morgan may have been the best way to salvage the situation. They said, quote, "If it was January, she would be back for WrestleMania. They wouldn't do this," Meltzer said, but they don't have a giant WrestleMania match ready, so they're just going to put the title back in play. Now, as far as if there's any heat on Liv Morgan for this, some have speculated that Liv Morgan was being reckless and there's heat on her. According to Sean Ross Sapp, that is not the case whatsoever. He tweeted out the following today saying, quote, "There is no heat on Liv Morgan internally for the Rhea Ripley injury, and it was seen as a freak accident from when Rhea went into the wall last week." So once again, the suggestion is it was just a freak injury, and that's kind of that. So what do you make of the injury itself? What do you make of a possible double turn with Ripley and Liv? And who do you think is going to become the Women's World Champion next week? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Now, some have speculated with Vince McMahon selling the majority of his TKO group holding stock and putting the rest of it up for sale, is there any possibility McMahon, of course his family being linked with WWE for generations, could possibly do the unthinkable and set up a brand new wrestling promotion? Well, it's something that Dave Meltzer has speculated on and discussed during a new article. Now, of course, ever since the lawsuit filed by Janelle Grant in January, professional wrestling has been a Vince McMahon free zone, and a lot of people seem very happy about that. McMahon resigned from his positions in WWE and the TKO board of directors following the lawsuit that accused him of sex trafficking and assault, and despite how much McMahon did over the years in WWE, the company is doing even better than when he was in charge. However, wrestling is in McMahon's DNA, which begs the question, will he try and come back? Quote, "The big topic when it comes to Vince is, and I've talked to several people and written to several people as well, key people in the business, do you think he's going to try and come back and do something on his own?" Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio, to which co-host Brian Alvarez responded by saying he would be skeptical of McMahon trying to come back immediately, and questioned whether or not a new company would actually work given his reputation in recent years and the fact that most top North American talents are under contract with WWE or AEW. While Meltzer agreed with Alvarez, he did have one person come back to him with a fairly concrete yes. Quote, "I've had people who are pretty in tune that believe that he's got a non-compete, so I think that he would not be able to start for several months. But basically one person who I was talking to believed that he would." Meltzer countered the argument of people being under contract with the fact that a number of WWE and AEW contracts expire this year, and with the $2.2 billion he could get from selling his shares in TKO, money would be no issue for McMahon. So do you think there's any possibility that Vince McMahon could set up another professional wrestling promotion and go head-to-head with the likes of WWE, AEW, and other pro wrestling companies? How would that work? Would it be good for wrestling? Would you be interested in that? Is there any way back for Vince McMahon in that regard? Let me know your thoughts and predictions if that's even possible. Now, Julia, a bit of an update on Julia as well. Of course, on Monday morning, Rossi Ogawa announced his new promotion, Marigold, in a press conference. Now, among the talents introduced for the promotion was Julia, who has long been expected to be part of the launch of Rossi's venture. Fightful Select's Corey Brennan has learned from sources close to the situation that Julia is expected to work at least, quote, "a handful," end quote, of matches in Marigold before hopefully reporting to the WWE Performance Center in late June/early July. Brennan has also learned from sources in NXT production and creative that while WWE could obtain the rights to Julia's current theme music, there are currently no plans to do so at this time. As far as presentation goes, Brennan has also learned that Julia is currently planned to keep her ring name in WWE. As for when fans can expect to see Julia on NXT programming, the belief within NXT is that she will have her debut match at NXT Heatwave on July 7th. And is expected to be challenging for one of the NXT Women's Championships at the event. Brennan was also told that Julia visited the Performance Center during her recent time in the United States. And finally, this is an interesting one last night, and certainly it's up to interpretation, but did Cody Rhodes say farewell to Monday Night Raw last night? Of course, Rhodes is the current undisputed WWE Universal Champion after defeating Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania 40 Night 2. And since WrestleMania, he's had made appearances on Raw and SmackDown, but the undisputed WWE Championship is a championship that's certainly meant to be exclusive to SmackDown. Therefore, Rhodes, who has been a part of the Raw roster since he returned to WWE at WrestleMania 38 in 2022, is he now going to be exclusively a member of the SmackDown roster? Well, according to Dave Meltzer, Cody Rhodes' promo last night on Raw was believed to have been a farewell as he is moving to SmackDown. Here's what he said, quote, "The idea was basically to tell you that he's a SmackDown guy, and this was his farewell, and to endorse Jey Uso, because with Seth Rollins gone, Jey Uso is the guy now." So is that how you interpreted things? Did you think Cody Rhodes was saying farewell to Raw, or do you think it's going to be a case of Rhodes appearing on both Raw and SmackDown until the draft at the end of this month? But there you go, guys. Latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.